a CPI consultant, everyone should knows how to gather requirement from the client before designing any iPros. So this is the key skills everyone needs to understand, because many integration fails because initial requirement were incomplete or misunderstood. So if we design a integration flows, wrong flows or misunderstanding flows, that will lead to production issue and the failure of the business. So today we will walk through a practical approach on how to gather the client requirements from the clients in real client calls. So by end of this session, you will able to explain why requirement gathering is critical for CPI projects. Use a simple structure to collect business, functional and technical requirement, and ask the right questions to client and avoid common gaps. So imagine in a client call, we need to send payment file from SAP to bank application daily. So as a developer, it is tempting to just straight to okay. If we send to payment file from SAP to bank, so we need to take a SFTP adapter because it is a file. So and we need to mapping and we need to scheduling. That's it, done. So but later you will find out bank needs a specific file format and naming conventions, and they want to encrypt the initial file, and they want to do the signature, and if the integration fails, they want the error notification by email. So these things we need to know before going into the yes.
Please check is this meeting is recording or not.
Okay, let me record. Sorry.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So very start. So yeah, the requirement. To gather the client requirement is important thing. So as a developer, before going into the integration flows creations, we need to clear about the requirement, how we need to transfer the data, is there any data transformation is needed, or if error happen, we need to send the email or not, error notification emails, or what is the sender system, what is the receiver system. So these things we need to know clearly before start developing the flows. So clear requirement, it will reduce rework, delays and any conflicts. So when we talk to a client about an integrations, you must understand in a way like 4 buckets. So one is business requirement, and second is functional requirement, and third is non-functional requirement, and fourth is environments. So these 4 things we need to get a clarity from the client before we start working on the flows. So business requirement is nothing but what business process is this integration part of. So it is order to cash or payments or some hire to retire. So where to where it's going. What the system is expecting, the receiver system. Suppose if you are sending a payment files in JSON format. We need to get the data from sender system is in a JSON format or XML format. So those kind of details we need to get a clarity on that. And what problem are we solving, and what does success look like? So now clients need a solution. So what the clients actually need? So we need to understand the client expectation first, and what is in scope and the explicit out of scopes. So these things we need to understand first. So secondly, we need to get a clarity on functional requirement. The functional requirement is nothing but source and target systems and directions of flows. So whether it is a synchronous flow or asynchronous flow. So synchronous flow is nothing but we are sending the request and we are waiting for the response. So that is a synchronous flow, two-way communication. In simple terms, we can say. So asynchronous means we are just sending the data and we are not expecting any response from the receiver system. So this is the asynchronous flow. So we need to get understand first on these things. So whether it is a synchronous or asynchronous, and we need to get understanding the source and target flows. I mean target systems. So source system is which application and how we can get the data. Suppose if we are working on the file formats, we need to use only the SAP TP adapters. We are unable to get the file from different adapters. So these based on the system, we need to use what kind of adapter we need to use, and what are the what are all the data formats, those kind of things we need to understand. And also we need to understand whether it is a real time or batch. So real time is nothing but so sender manually triggers the data. So whenever the sender wants to send the data from source to target, he will trigger the flows as per based on their requirement. That is a real time flows. Batch means we are scheduling the flows. Whether, for example, if a client wants to trigger the integration flow, so Dharani, you raised the hand. What?
Yeah. So, what was the third one you were telling about? Like a business requirement, functional, and the third point?
Non-functional requirement.
Non-functional. Okay. Can you just repeat that? What exactly it is? The non-functional requirement.
Yeah, I'm explaining the functional requirement now. After this, I'll
Okay. Okay. I thought you went to the third one already. Okay,
No,
that's
no.
fine. Okay. Thank you.
So now we are talking about the functional requirement. So first we need to know the business requirement. Second, we need to know the functional requirement. Third, we need to know the non-functional requirement. And the fourth is the environment and operators. Business requirement means what the business exactly needs. So what are all the problems the business is attaining? So these are the business requirements. So and what is the scopes and the out of scopes? These are the functional business requirement. And the second is functional requirements. In the functional requirements, we need to understand the source and target systems and the direction of the flows, and also the whether they are triggering the flow in the real time or it is in the batch, or they trigger in some time. Like for example, if a client wants to trigger a data every day at 4 p.m. only in weekends, so we need to design the flow accordingly. In a integration flow, we have a option called timer. So in using this timer, we will schedule the integration. So every day at 4 o'clock, the integration flow triggers automatically. So these are the things we need to gather during the functional requirements. So and also the transformations. So what I mean, we need to understand the data flows. So for example, if a sender system sending a CSV data, so we need to understand what are all, I mean, what format the receiver system is expecting, whether the receiver system accepts CSV or not. So if not, what the format the receiver system is expecting. So these are the things we need to know. In CPI language, we can say functional requirement tell us which adapter we might use, how often iFlow should run, what mapping and lookups are required. So these are the things we need to get in. It comes under the functional requirement. And third point is non-functional requirement. So non-functional requirement is nothing but we need to we need to understand the security and the performance and how we need to handle the error. So in simple term, I can explain the security is nothing but we are getting data from sender system, right? So we need to understand the sender system authentication details. So whether it is a basic authentication or it is a token based authentications. So those authentication mechanism we need to understand. So based on that only we need to configure the sender system authentication mechanism and we can get the data. Otherwise, we might face 401 unauthorized error. So these are the things we need to get, and also performance. So we need to understand the volume of the data. So if the sender system sends 5,000 data, so the integration should handle at a time 5,000 data. So based on that only we need to set the timeout in the CPI. So these the performance, I mean, based on the volume of the flow, the performance will get effective in the CPI. And also the error handling and monitoring things. So error handling is nothing but, so in integration flow, if the sender system is sending some data, if they are not receiving any data in the receiver system, so that means in the integration flow the data is failed. So how the client knows? They don't know, right? As an integration developer, we know the error is in the integration, but the client don't know whether the integration flow is success or failed. So we need to mail them during the runtime whether the flow is success or not. So some clients may need the notification, some clients may not need. So we need to suggest on that time. So suppose if the integration fails, you may get the error notification. This is the uh, this is the good future. So you can see the success or failure through mail. So we need to suggest on these, whether the client don't want the notification things. So these are the things we need to confirm before starting the development. Suppose if we done all the developments after completed the development during the production time, the client missed some fields or they want to add something. So on the time we are unable to work on the production system, right? So before starting the development we need to must clear on all the points. So once we developed the flows, we should not edit the flows again. So these are comes under the non-functional requirements. So in the non-functional requirements, we need to understand the security of the system, we need to understand the volume of the data, and also the error handling. And the fourth point is environment and operations. So environment is nothing but basically we have three environments. One is development, one is quality, and one is the live system, that is production. So in the development system, we are developing all the iflows in the development system only. So after developing all the iflows, we need to test the all the iflows before going into the productions. So these testings are done in the quality systems. So after all the flows are success and the clients is okay with our flows, after that quality we need to move all the flows into the productions. So this is the flow of the design. First, in the development landscape, we are developing all the flows. In the quality, we are testing. In the productions, after quality, after testing, all the things are done, the client is okay with the flow. Finally, we are moving those flows into the productions. And also you need to understand the access dependency. So who will provide the credentials, certificates, test data? So this is the main main things these are. So we need to get the test data from the client to test the flows. So we need to get the sample structure, and we need to test the flow using the test data. So that will help us to understand whether the flow is working fine or not. So these are the 4 points we need to understand before going into the development. So we need to ask these 4 points in the clients before going into our development. So here Chandru is there. He have faced some client calls. He had much experience on that. He'll explain you on how the real time client call should be and how we can get the details from the client. So Chandru, over to you.
Hi all. Like Hari said, how to collect the requirements from the functional team. So let me explain one more time. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Mm, mm. Um, Hi all. Usually functional team will provide the requirements. So at that time they will explain what kind of data has to integrate, like employee data, purchase order, invoice details, payment details, transaction data, event data. So like that, they will inform what kind of data has to integrate, and also they will inform why the data has to integrate. Like we need to create report, we need to do some synchronization, we need to do some compilation, compliance, and then we need to do some automation. Like that, also they will inform at the time of providing requirements to you. And then we need to ask whether the replication should happen immediately or hardly once, daily once, or weekly once. So this replication frequency we should ask to the functional team, and then we should understand the source system functionalities, whether it's a SAP application or non-SAP application. And also, we need to ask whether the source system have any API functionalities or not, and then what kind of APIs they are following, whether they have REST APIs, SOAP, IDOC, or else they have any file-based servers. And also, we need to ask the structures, whether it's a JSON structure, XML structure, or CSV structure. So let me. For example, mm, um, imagine assume one scenario. Here the sender is e-commerce application, and then e-commerce is the source system here, and then SAP is the target system. So now the middleware is CPI.
అన్న వాయిస్ వినిపిస్తలేదు.
Yeah, one. Imagine this is a source structure. Now the source structure is following JSON, but the target system is expecting the data in XML format. In that place, CPI comes into picture. So it would do the transformation. In CPI, we have standard parallel function is there, like JSON to XML converter is there. So with the help of that, you should do the transformation. One. Yeah, wala. Huh? ఏ బల్పుడా డబుల్ కోట్స్ எதுல Oh, sorry guys. Imagine this is the source structure. Now the source structure having employee details like name. Mm. Now the source structure having employee details like name, age, mobile number, email. So now the source structure having the data in JSON format, but the target system is expecting the data in XML format. So This is the XML format looks like. So you can see name, age, mobile number, email. So the target system is expecting the data in XML structure. So in CPI we have standard parallel function that is called JSON to XML converter. So with the help of that, you should do the transformation. Okay, and then coming back to the slide. So they will just now we explained, right, expected format. So we should ask these things to the functional team, and also we need to ask the mandatory fields. For example, this is the structure. So they will inform here name is mandatory, age is mandatory, mobile number is mandatory. So at the time of collecting requirements from the functional, they will inform what are the mandatory fields, and then we need to ask whether this flow is synchronous or asynchronous. Like Hari said, synchronous means two-way communication, asynchronous means one-way communication. So we should ask at the time of collecting requirements. Then we covered this, and then in CPI we have four types of categories. The first one is source system is SAP, target system also SAP. This is one type of category. And then coming to second category, source is non-SAP, target is also non-SAP system. And then coming to third one, source system is SAP, target system is non-SAP. Coming to fourth one, source system is non-SAP, and then target is SAP. So our integration will cover either one scenarios here. And then coming to this, these are all the examples of SAP application, like SAP S4 HANA, on-premise or cloud, SAP ECC system. ECC means it's a legacy version of SAP system. And then SAP SuccessFactor, SAP Ariba, SAP Concur, SAP Fieldglass, SAP Hybris, SAP Commerce, SAP Cloud Analytics. These are all the examples of SAP application. So at the time of collecting requirement, the functional will tell what type of SAP application they will inform. And then these are all the examples of non-SAP application. Salesforce, Oracle ERP, Microsoft Dynamics, banking application, finance application, e-commerce apps, SFTP server or file-based server. So these are all the examples of non-SAP SAP applications. So this is how we will collect the requirements from the functional team. Yes, Hari.
Chandra, can you show that non-SAP?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Shit. These are all the non-SAP applications examples. These are all few examples I mentioned here.
Yeah, Narani, these are the example applications. So in real time, you may get different applications based on the client requirements.
Okay. Yeah, got it. So, see, I have one question. See, like this in CPI and ETL, is there any difference between the CPI and ETL? Because, like, see, ETL is like extract, transform, and load, right? And this is
Yes.
like integration services. So, are they both similar? Because if the terminology, everything seems similar between ETL and this CPI.
Yes, both. I mean, the working processes both are similar, but in the structure point of view and the integrations point of view, the both are different. So the CPI is carried by the BTPs, but the ETL is the different tool. So these both are different when coming to the landscapes, but the working process is similar. So the ETL is majorly focusing on handling high volume of data. Suppose the sender is sending 50,000 or 1 lakh data, so the ETL tool will be effective. So in the SAP we have a ETL tool called CIDS. So
Okay.
the CIDS, it's a ETL tool. It handles the large amount of data. So it's work similar like the integration CPI, but
Okay.
the ETL is majorly focusing on huge amount of data. So that is a
Okay.
different landscape, and we need to buy license. So those are the difference. That is not comes under the BTP.
Okay. Got the difference.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there any other question, teams? Do you have?
Hi, Arpas. This is Suchit.
Yeah.
Actually, like previous classes, like what we learned, like based on Jira story, we have to develop an iFlows. And today we hear like a functional team will approach with their requirements. So we have to question them and then we have to create iFlows.
Yes. So in some cases the functional team will be there, but in some cases we are the one to get into the client call when we need to gather the requirements. So that is based on the projects. So in some projects, when it comes into the SAP integration, most of the SAP integrations, the functional team will be there. In the SAP we have the PP, SD, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we have the separate consultant for every module. For the material management, we have the separate material management person, consultant. So he have a better understanding for the material, how the material is working. If we are posting from the integration, if we are posting some data to material management, they know where that data is reflecting in the SAP system and how we need to post the particular data. So based on the system related data, the material management consultant, he knows very well. Then because as an integration consultant, we have not that much idea on the material management. And the PP means we have a planning team, I mean warehouse consultant. So we have more modules in the SAP. So if the client is interact with the functional person, so he got an idea, so how the client expecting the data. So whether this data should placed in the particular for example folder, this file, I mean this data should placed in this folder, this so these kind of internal structured datas, the functional team is well known. So that's why the functional will guide us, so how we need to create the integration. So if we are posting the data to the particular page, how the client will get the data. So these things, the functional is well known. That's why most of the projects, the functional person will gather the requirement and he will give the input to us, how we need to create the integration and what are all the uh, data formats we need to handle. So these things in most of the uh, business, the functional person will handle. But in some cases, if we are working on the non-SAP applications, if we are working on the third party systems, so in that case the third party system application management team will be there. So the management team is well known about the applications. So we need to contact them. How we need to post the data. If we are posting the data to this location, how the data is reflected in your system. So we need to get those details from the client, because the client don't know about the SAP system behavior and in the integration how it will work. So we are the one should explain to them how we are posting the data. We are posting this many data at this time. So these are the things we need to explain when the functional is not there. So we need to get into the client call, and we need to get gather the requirement from the client.
Yeah, and
So
also you said it earlier, like before sending like some data to the receiver system, we have to integrate with the email so that they will get an email like status of the iFlow.
yes. So
Yeah,
that is most of the clients, they don't want that, but it is a best practice
yeah,
when we connect the mail. So for example, the client won't log into our integration, and they are not monitoring the flows. So just what they will do, they have the sender system. We are providing the integration flows details, credentials, and the URL. So using those details from their system, they are triggering the data to the receiver. So on the time, the client don't know whether the data is successfully posted to receiver system or not. In some cases, the sender sends the data from the sender system, but if they looked into the receiver system, the data will not reflect in their receiver system. So in that case, it may fail in the integration, or it should be some other issue. So these if we are configuring the mail notification, so they may get clarity on where the data should be currently, and what is the error happened in the integration, whether it is happened in the integration or not. If it happened within the integration, what kind of error it is. So these details, basically, this is the debugging. So currently the data where it is located. So so because of these things, we the best practice is to configure the mail
okay,
in mail notification.
yeah, thanks.
So we'll go in detail during the flow creation, so you may get a better understanding on this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, thank you. Is anyone have any question? Okay, then I'll take it as no. We'll see tomorrow. Thank you, team. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.